Have you ever noticed this feeling? You're in a group, but you don't feel part of it. People are talking, laughing, connecting, and somehow, you're just there, not included, not asked, not remembered. You don't hate them, you don't blame them, but deep inside you wonder, why do I always feel left out? If this feeling has ever followed you in school, college, work, or even among friends, this video is for you. Here's something most people don't understand. Feeling left out doesn't always mean people dislike you. Often it means everyone else is too busy chasing attention. Look around any group, everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to be heard, everybody wants to matter. Very few people are willing to listen. So when you stay quiet, when you observe, when you don't force yourself into conversations, you don't disappear because you're weak. You disappear because the room is noisy. And noise doesn't notice silence. There's a strange fear many people carry. They want to talk, but they don't want to be the one who starts. Because starting means risk. Risk of rejection, risk of being ignored, risk of sounding stupid. So everyone waits. And here's the truth. People may not remember who talked the most, but they always remember who made them feel comfortable. The one who talks first breaks the tension. The one who listens first builds trust. And trust lasts longer than noise. Think about the people you remember the most, not the loudest ones, not the most dramatic ones. It's the ones who made you feel understood. Listening is rare, and rarity creates value. When you listen, truly listen, people feel seen. And once someone feels seen, they don't forget you. In a world full of voices, presence is power. Now let's talk about respect, because this hurts the most. Being talked over, being ignored, being dismissed. Respect doesn't disappear suddenly. It fades slowly, not because you're unworthy, but because people take cues from how you carry yourself. If your words don't feel grounded, if your presence doesn't feel stable, if your energy feels unsure, the world responds accordingly. This is uncomfortable to hear, but it's honest. Respect grows when your life has weight behind it. Let me say this clearly. Out of 8.23 billion people on this planet, losing sleep over the one person who ignored you, replaced you, or left you, is the worst trade you can make. Not because your pain is wrong, but because your focus is misplaced. If someone walks away, they make space for someone better aligned. Don't sit in silence, replaying conversations, trying to understand people who already moved on. Your energy is too valuable for that. There comes a moment in life when you realize something quietly. No one is coming to save you, and strangely, that's not depressing. That's empowering, because if no one stands with you, you learn to stand straight on your own. This is where identity forms, not in crowds, but in solitude. If you don't feel respected, don't beg for space, create weight. Reputation isn't created by talking about yourself. It's created by what your life reflects over time. When your actions align, when your discipline is visible, when your presence feels calm and certain, conversations change. People listen differently. People treat you differently. Not because you asked, but because you became someone worth listening to. Let's be honest for a moment. Money brings options. Options bring power. Power brings respect. Respect brings people. And people multiply opportunities. This isn't greed. This is how the world works. The mistake people make is chasing people first. Build your base first. The rest follows naturally. Sometimes, you're not invisible. You're just in the wrong room. New places change perspective. New surroundings remind you that life is bigger than one circle. Even traveling alone teaches you something important. You are capable of moving forward even without approval. If you feel left out today, it doesn't mean you'll stay there. Some people are ignored early because they're meant to grow quietly. Let's talk about belief, energy, inner strength, and how to move forward without bitterness. There's something every strong person understands sooner or later. You won't always have proof at the beginning. You won't always have people cheering. You won't always have validation. Sometimes, all you have is belief. Call it God, call it energy, call it the universe, call it faith. The name doesn't matter. What matters is believing that effort is not wasted, even when no one sees it yet. Belief is what keeps you moving when results are still silent. You don't have to say much for people to feel your energy. When you're desperate, people sense it. When you're chasing approval, people pull away. But when you're grounded, when you're calm inside, when you're focused on your own path, people notice. Energy isn't mystical. It's alignment. It's when your thoughts, actions, and intentions are moving in the same direction that alignment creates presence. And presence creates respect. Not everyone is meant to shine early. Some people are built in silence, ignored, overlooked, underestimated. And that's not a curse. That's preparation. Because when you grow without attention, you grow without ego. You become stable, rooted, unshakable. So when recognition finally comes, it doesn't change you, it just reveals you. Being left out can make you angry, bitter, closed. But bitterness is heavy. It keeps you tied to people who already moved on. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you care enough about yourself to stop bleeding for situations that ended. Release the resentment, keep the lesson. That's maturity. There's a moment when you stop trying to be seen. You stop forcing conversations, you stop explaining yourself, you stop proving your worth, and strangely, that's when things begin to shift. Because you're no longer moving from lack, you're moving from direction. People don't respect neediness, they respect self-sufficiency. Being alone doesn't mean you failed. It often means you outgrew something. Crowds don't define growth. Comfort doesn't define success. Sometimes, the strongest seasons of life are the quietest ones. This is where character forms. This is where confidence becomes internal. This is where your life starts to feel like yours. You don't need to rush. Rushing creates anxiety. Patience creates clarity. If you're building something real, it takes time. Results don't arrive when you demand them. They arrive when you're ready to handle them. Stay consistent, stay honest, stay grounded. That's how momentum builds quietly. The world doesn't notice effort immediately. It notices outcomes. That's not unfair. That's how attention works. People don't clap during rehearsal. They clap during performance. Your job isn't to impress early. Your job is to prepare properly. When the moment comes, recognition will follow naturally. If you feel unseen right now, it doesn't mean you don't matter. It means you're in a phase of growth that happens away from the spotlight. Some people bloom early, some bloom later. What matters is blooming strong. If you feel left out, don't shrink yourself. Build yourself. Focus on your life. Protect your energy. Move with belief. The world notices late, but it always notices. Subscribe to stay 2 steps ahead. Welcome to the family where isolation becomes strength and silence becomes power. Until then, stay humble, stay sharp.